how the warrior, the savage martial artist finally gets over his depression. Welcome back, my friend. I hope you're having a great day. As usual, let's get straight into it. Now, a lot of you have been enjoying these videos, little talks, these little rants, and you guys have been voicing a lot of concerns with depression. You guys start and stop. You guys work out, you guys diet, you guys train, then you guys are on this peak, then you come back down. You don't train for like a month, you're all sore, and then it just goes into this crazy roller coaster where you're not training at all for about a month, 2 months, 3 months. Then you feel depressed again, then you get all crazy, you get all mad, you look in the mirror, you're just like, what the fuck is going on? Then you try to get back on the horse, but when you try to go back up, you start training, you start dieting, it becomes harder and harder and harder. I feel you, man. I understand. At my age, 35 years old, I'm still young, I'm still handsome, I'm still strong, I'm still fit. A lot of it, I obtained it through just having a good conscious mind, having good feelings, good thoughts. Understand that everything that you do, everything that you are, always first starts within your consciousness. So this is what I believe in, okay? You guys see all the videos of me moving, grooving, shadow boxing. It's all because of my thoughts. Everything starts within the mind, and these things that you're going through, these rhythms, this craziness, and then you stopping, it's fucking driving you nuts, and it all starts in your mind, my friend. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a new perspective, okay? Because understand, the truth of the matter is when you're trying to get over this hump, this depression, a lot of it comes down to your perspective, having a change in perspective. Now, I'm going to give you a little story for me to really explain this, really help you to finally get over this hump. But understand, okay, in the Kabbalion, the Hermetic principles, there is a law of rhythm. There is a law of polarity. There's always going to be a positive, a negative, an up and a down, a left and a right. So when you're on this journey of self-development, self-improvement, you're trying to become the greatest martial artist, warrior of your bloodline, you're going to have these ups and downs. This is just the nature of reality. There's always going to be duality, okay? And you don't even have to read spiritual books. Just look at nature. There's always going to be a summer, winter, spring, fall. In order for something to truly grow, especially like this grass, all these fruits, these plants, the trees, it has to go through these rhythms. So understand that these rhythms that you're going through, it's to help with your growth. That's the only way you can grow, and that's the only way things in nature, in this reality, can grow, is through rhythm. But you're having like these crazy ass cycles. I can only tell you this method I'm about to give you, this shift in perspective that I'm about to lay out, because I had these crazy rhythms, and you know, it's my duty as a man to help you out, because I don't want you to suffer. Yes, you can grow, you can go through these rhythms, and it doesn't have to be so chaotic, so crazy. And this is the perspective shift, the little story that I'm going to give you. All right, now let's say you are where you are right now. You're fat, you're depressed, you look in the mirror, you really don't like what you see. You got to understand now, once you look in the mirror and you see yourself and you do not like what you see, think of yourself as split now. Because once you see what you don't like in the mirror, you're gonna want to become something else. You're gonna want to be like Ches or like Bruce Lee. You want to be fit, you want to be ripped, you want to be confident, you want to be happy, you want to be rich. You just have this other version of you that you want to become. So essentially, where you are right now, fat, depressed, hurt, tired, always battling, always struggling, not being your best, not being confident, always insecure, this individual that you are right now splits. Because this is where you are now, and this is the version that you want to be down here, okay? But understand, that version that you want to be, they both start at the same place. So what happens is, okay, I'm going to give you a little analogy. Where you are now, you tend to split yourself into two. Now what happens is, because you don't like who you are, you tell this version of yourself, this current version of yourself, I want to go here. This is where we gotta go in order for us to be confident and in order for us to love ourselves. I don't like you. You're fat, you have these weirdo habits, you watch way too much porn, you eat too much food, you're fucking way too lazy, and you cry too much. I don't like you, so you stay here. I'm gonna jump on this train of self-improvement, and I'm gonna take this train all the way to the best version of myself. So essentially, what you do now, you get on this program. You probably bought my Savage Warrior Body PDF book to help you on this journey. So what happens is you leave this version of yourself, this fat, this depressed, this person that you do not like in the mirror. You leave him there at the train stop. Then you jump on this train and you go. And you go on this train of self-improvement. You're doing your best. It's like a struggle, but you're on this train. Okay, and then you work out, you work out, you work out, you work out. You're doing the steps, you're doing the program, not knowing, okay, you're making some progress. You're on this train of self-development, self-improvement, not knowing that the version that you started from is still there. And understand that this version that you left, the one that you saw in the mirror that you didn't like, this fat, depressed, the one with all these weirdo addictions and habits, the one you despise, the one that you hate, you left this version of you at the train stop. And now this version of you, okay, at the train stop is screaming for you. Is screaming for you. This version of you that eats all the food, that likes to just sit back, relax, play video games, shoot the shit, be lazy, doesn't give a fuck about self-improvement, just wants to just be comfortable. That version of you is at the train stop yelling for you. Come back! Come back! Desperately trying to get your attention. So much so that this version of you that you left at the bus stop, this version that you do not like, will do anything in its power to try and get you. Now what happens is while you're on this train of self-development, you left this individual that you do not like. A lot of you guys are doing this. I grind hard. You know, this is just perspective that we've been given now. You know, a lot of people are grinding hard. When I looked in the mirror, I saw that bitch in me. Oh, that guy, that version of me, that old version of me is a bitch. And what you did was you left that version of you at the train stop while you're on this train of self-development. But that version of you is never going to leave you. Understand, it's in your head. That's who you once were. Now that version of you, because you left that version of you, the one you don't like, it's crying out to you, dude. So while you're on this train making this progress, it's doing all that it can to get your attention to come back. Okay? Now what happens is a lot of you slow down. This train of self-development does get a little rough. It does get hard. You will have body aches. You will crave food. That's that version of you screaming out to you. And what happens is you start to slow down. This train starts to slow down. Now, like I said, this version of you will do anything to get your attention to come back. This version of you that you do not like will even chase you. And if you slow down on this self-development train, guess what? This version of you is running and is coming. Come back, please, come back. It's going to do all it can. Please, we enjoy it here. We like these snacks. Come on back, come on back. We like the snacks. We like all this stuff that we do. We like laying down. We like watching TV. We like not working. We like being a piece of shit. We like talking shit. We like judging people. Come back. And what happens is you hear the call of that older version of you that you didn't like, the one you left back at the train stop. The train starts to slow down. And understand, this version of you is running, so it's getting stronger and stronger. And just one day when you don't expect it, your train of self-development, you wake up late just so happily, and you're just like, damn, I didn't wake up on the time that I wanted to. You start building this hypnotic rhythm, as I said in the last video. One negative thought after one negative thought. One negative thought leads to another one, to another one. I didn't wake up on time. Damn, because I didn't wake up on time, I feel a little slower. Damn, I gotta drink my coffee. This coffee's not even working. I gotta get to my workout. Now I gotta rush. Damn, if only I woke up. Come on. You're being a bitch again. Da-da-da-da. These things start to pile up. Next thing you know, you're in this emotional fit of just like the negativity is weighing on you. And that version of you, the one that you hate, the one that you despise, the one that you resent, has caught up to you. And because it's been running, trying to get your attention this entire time, it's gonna engulf you. And once it engulfs you, you are stuck. Then you realize, damn, that version of me built up all this strength from trying to chase me, trying to get my attention, telling me all these stacks. It has stacks of like snacks, all of your guilty pleasures waiting for you. Because understand, you left this version of you at the train stop. And while you were on your self-development train, this one, it was doing all it can to get stronger, to catch up to you. So that way, when it does catch you, you'll come back into that darkness, so to say. You could say that this person that you left at the train stop, this version of you that you resent, the one that's lazy, the one that's always depressed, insecure, doesn't have confidence, that's the shadow self. But this shadow self, because you left that version of you at the train stop, understand, it's gonna do what it needs to do. It's gonna gain the strength that it needs to gain to catch back up with you. Now, that's why you're in this loop. Oh, I was on my self-development, now I went back down. Because when you first started this self-development journey, you went on this train of self-improvement. You went on this train of becoming a martial artist. That person that you saw in the mirror, you hated that version of you. And what you did was, you left them there at the train stop. Now, the way to really help you out on this, okay, is you gotta forgive yourself. I said it in the previous video, and I'm gonna say it again. You gotta look in the mirror, and you gotta forgive yourself. And you gotta accept where you are. Accept it, and fully come to grips and understand that this version that you see in the mirror that you do not like, you stopped working out, you're getting fat again, you're eating these snacks, you're diving back into your guilty pleasures. That's you, bro, okay? You don't have to look in the mirror and say, I hate you. You don't have to beat yourself up. That's just a version of you. Understand, that's a version of you that doesn't have too much knowledge, doesn't have too much wisdom. If you want to think about it, it's the version of you that just doesn't think about the consequences and just dives into pleasure. Who else does things like that? Children. They don't really think too much. They just do things that are pleasurable to them. So that version of you that you're trying to run away from, that you despise, that you hate, the one that's insecure, doesn't have confidence, the one that you're trying to leave behind, that is you. Almost like the childlike version of you that just doesn't have this wisdom. So what you got to do is, at this train stop, okay? A lot of you have been messaging me, Ches, I worked out, I haven't been working out, it's been a month, it's been 2 months, now I'm hurting again, I'm like super depressed. You're at the train stop. This shadow self of you that you left, that you hate, that you just left in the dust and just said, fuck it, your lazy ass is gonna stay here, caught up to you. Now you're back at the train stop. Now what you got to do is you got to look at yourself in the mirror and you got to say, you, Ches, I forgive you. I understand that these pleasures, these guilty pleasures, whether it be overeating, indulging in snacks, being lazy, not having purpose, not staying focused, not doing your shadow boxing, not waking up early, that's okay. That's just a version of you that just doesn't know, and it doesn't believe that if we take this train here, we put in this work to go here, it's gonna be a better spot when we get there. And you, version of Ches that has this insecurities, that's not confidence, I need you to come with me on this train. And essentially, that's what you need to do. You need to look at that version of yourself, the one that's depressed, the one that's sad, the one that has all these flaws. And you got to look at it and just say, I forgive you. I accept you because you are me. You are just me who doesn't have this knowledge, that doesn't have this wisdom of what's going to be when we get there. Yes, the work looks crazy. Yes, probably laying in this couch seems better than waking up early, doing 300 crunches, doing 500 front kicks, jogging 8 miles. Believe me, maybe being on the couch is better, but guess what? We obviously feel a certain way. We don't have confidence. When we go out to get a job or a new job, or we try to create a YouTube channel or try to be a social media influencer or try to pursue these dreams, you do not have the necessary confidence to just follow through or even just try to learn these new skills because you're afraid and you'd rather be lazy and just sit here and just rot. And that's okay. But I love you. I forgive you. Jump on this train with me and we're gonna go here. Now, this is how your self-improvement journey, your self-development journey becomes much easier. Yeah, you're still gonna have ups and downs, but it's not gonna be so drastic like this. It's gonna be a little wave that slowly climbs upward. Why? Because that version that you're trying to leave of yourself, that version who is just weak, insecure, depressed, a little bitch, all these hurtful things that you've said to it, you've accepted it. And you realize, I'm getting on this self-improvement train. I'm getting on this self-development path. So that way I can be my own best friend. Understand that. You guys are trying to grind hard. I look in the mirror. I killed that bitch. Bro, you're talking about yourself. You're doing all of this, getting the muscles, getting the abs. Why? So you can be your own best friend. When you are your own best friend, you love yourself at the deepest levels of you. Of course, it's going to be easier to get money, to do all these things, to get the love, to get the relationships. But if all of those go away, the career, the money, my YouTube channel, because I was on this journey and I accepted every part of me, I became my own best friend. I don't need hair. I don't need tank tops. I ain't got to show off my muscles, my tattoos. I can wear nice Aloha shirts. It's Aloha Friday. That's why I'm wearing, I'm going to start getting into the vibes, man. You know, I live in a very beautiful place. I got to stop being so crazy all the time. And this is a perspective shift that I want to share with you. Believe me, I was always up and down. Everybody say, I wake up and I'm at war with myself. Why? Why do you want to be at war with yourself? Wouldn't it be easier to look at yourself and just say, you know what? You're the version of me that just doesn't have all the information. That's kind of scared to go on this hero's adventure. But when you do, believe me, it's going to be adventurous. It's going to be a little hard, but when we get to where we want to go, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be grand. Be your own best friend on this journey. And this is how the warrior finally gets over his depression. Like I said, a lot of this negativity, depression, it's just karma. A lot of you guys, especially if you subscribe to my channel, your karma, your direct karma is that you had these dreams, you had this vision of being a boxer. You didn't have to even be a champ. You just wanted to just get in the ring to see what you could do. You wanted to be a boxer, a martial artist, a mixed martial artist. You want to get into judo. You want to get into Brazilian jiu-jitsu, grappling, aikido, kung fu, tai chi chuan, whatever it is. But you chose to just sit on the couch, go to work, stuff your face with food, and just be a piece of shit, so they say. No. You now understand that you are where you are. Accept it. Accept that you don't know what you don't know. Accept that, yes, this journey is going to be hard, but I do not hate you. Look in the mirror. I do not hate you. Yeah, you may have these flabs. You may be this lazy piece of shit, but I do not hate you. You are me. And essentially, what I'm trying to do is uplift you. I am not trying to leave you behind. I'm not trying to tuck you into a corner. I'm not trying to let you just be abandoned for you to just figure it out on your own. No, this version of you that you guys look in the mirror and say, you're being a bitch, Ches, is you. Stop battling yourself. Love yourself. Accept yourself. Uplift that version of you and take them with you on the train. So this way, when you're on this self-development train, if it does slow down, it does lose momentum, that shadow self, that insecure, unconfident, guilty pleasure having version of you is not screaming at you, doing all that it can to get your attention. And you won't turn back and you won't give in to it. Why? Because he's with you on this journey. This is the perspective shift that I needed. And this is probably the perspective shift that you need, because I'm giving it to you, all right? Somebody said, Ches, you're like a stoic warrior. I am not stoic at all, man. Understand, I fall victim to these rhythms. I have these extremely high highs, especially if you're trying to be a fighter. Dude, understand, you know, you're in training camp for like 6 months. Bro, you're going to be grinding. You're going to be suffering. You're going to be dieting. Then you got to cut the weight. It's going to be fucking hell on earth. Then when you fight and you win, that's the peak of it. And understand, right when you're at the peak, that height, you're just, you know, dude, it's a crazy feeling, man, to have your hand raised, all these chicks in the crowd just like cheering your name. You don't even know who they are. That's like the peak. And understand, once you step out of the cage, out of the ring, once I stepped out of the cage, out of the ring, choo, it went back down. But now you're on this self-development phase. Everybody's on this trip of, oh, we got to be better. We got to be this. The best thing you can do to get out of this depression is not to look down upon yourself. Understand, this version of you that you see that you don't like in the mirror is just a version of you that doesn't have all the information, doesn't have all the excitement of where it needs to go. And before you start this journey back up, you jump on this self-development train, you need to look at this version of you. Insecure, fat, guilty pleasures, always lazy. And you need to say, it's okay, I accept you. But understand, this is where we're gonna go now. You gotta come with me, okay? I'm not gonna no longer put you down. I'm not gonna look in the mirror and just say, Ches, you being a fucking bitch again. Stop being a bitch. Your fucking vagina is being wet. You giving all these excuses. No, Ches, you're giving some excuses, but guess what? You don't like it here. We both don't like it here. We wanna go there. So just come here, all right? Make it fun, interesting, joyful, adventurous. When you hit a wall on your self-development journey, don't look in the mirror and don't create an enemy of yourself. And this is why you always, always, always jump into a depression when you're trying to, you know, become something new, when you're trying to push forth, become the strongest warrior, martial artist of your bloodline. Don't look back on that version of you as weak. Don't put that version of you down. That's you. That is you. Accept all aspects of you. And then when you do, you have this version of you jump on the train with you. This is where you can become something extremely beautiful. You take your dark, you take your light, you combine it, and then you become something that people have never, ever thought you could be. But to get to that pinnacle, you gotta accept yourself. You gotta love yourself. You gotta forgive yourself. And you gotta say, we're about to train hard and be kind. Let's go.